Israel's defence forces have warned that they are ready to strike back after Iran launched a series of missiles in the last hour. Let's go to Washington correspondent Jonathan Kersley. The US President Donald Trump has spoken with the Israeli Prime Minister and insisted that he must accept that the US will make a deal with Iran. But right now it's a pretty fragile situation.
It's an incredibly fragile situation. A couple of hours ago, we had these Iranian missiles, a few barrages worth, launched in the direction of Israel. There was cheering on the streets of Tehran, captured by Iranian state media. We've seen footage of of missiles heading in the direction of northern Israel. It's around Haifa, where they were intended to go to, but also intercepted. And footage of those intercepts has also been captured. Israel's defence forces says they managed to intercept all of the missiles that were heading that way. But a short time ago, Laura, yes, President Trump has spoken with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The White House had told me he was being kept fully abreast of the developments in Iran, and clearly was very keen to speak with the Israeli Prime Minister to try and bring a halt to any sort of further retaliation that might come from Israel itself. He had told Axios that he would tell Benjamin Netanyahu not to proceed. Essentially, President Trump views the situation with Iran as being very close to a deal, and he did not want what is taking place over the course of the last few hours and potentially over the next few hours to intervene in that. He's also spoken with the Financial Times just a short time ago. I want to read you some of what he has told them, because it's interesting to give you a nature of how he sees the relationship with Benjamin Netanyahu. He said Benjamin Netanyahu, won't have any choice as to whether or not to accept a deal, if indeed one is signed between the United States and Iran. He goes on to say, I call the shots, I call all the shots. He doesn't call the shots. So that clearly, Laura, is President Trump trying to show the power balance he sees in the relationship. But it is a very, very delicate situation right now, because there are hardliners inside the Israeli government. Ben Gvir, the defence minister no less, wanting to, in his words, see Tehran burn tonight, wanting to see a strong retaliation. We heard from Israel's defence forces a short time ago as well. This is some of what they had to say.
משטר הטרור האיראני ביצע טעות חמורה כאשר בחר פעם נוספת בטרור. המשטר מנסה לייצר משוואה חדשה, כאשר הוא מבצע ירי ישיר לשטחנו בתגובה לתקיפות צה"ל בדאחיה. אנחנו לא נאפשר זאת.
Apologies, we don't have the translation there, but essentially what that spokesperson was saying was that Iran had made a big mistake. So clearly, again, the IDF is also wanting to pursue a line of retaliation. Now, there had been a sense some of this may well be coming, because Iran's Revolutionary Guard had warned it would launch strikes if Israel launched attacks into Beirut, into Lebanon's capital, and that took place earlier today. It was a strike that Israel said was targeting a central command centre of Hezbollah, but still nonetheless, Iran launched its missiles in the direction of Israel, and now the world really is waiting to see what the response is. A statement from Iran's Revolutionary Guard was provided to Iran state media. This is some of that through translation.
Our acceptance of the ceasefire on April 8 was conditional upon the cessation of hostilities on all fronts. However, as always, the United States and the Zionist regime failed to uphold their commitments. They continued their aggression and crimes in Lebanon and repeatedly violated the ceasefire through attacks on Iranian coasts and vessels in the Strait of Hormuz, the Gulf of Oman and the Indian Ocean. Tonight's operation was a warning. Should these acts of aggression be repeated, the responses will be broader in scope and will encompass all American and Zionist targets throughout the region.
So, Laura, as I say, it really is a critical time now. How is Israel going to respond? And if so, what is that level of response going to be? Because both Israel is saying it's ready to strike if indeed the orders come through, and at the same time, Iran is talking it up again, saying if those attacks come, it will respond too.